Welcome to another update on how our farmlet trial is evolving. We have started the third and last year of our trial, the farmlet trial, where we are testing what happens if the amount of nitrogen that you apply reduces and you bring in other species, mainly clover, to compensate for that. We have now filled the farmlet herds completely. Last time I was mentioning that we had started grazing with cows in each farmlet. We had about 20 cows in each farmlet. We have now filled all 4 farmlets to maximum capacity. So now we have settled in with the cow numbers that we are planning to have in the farmlets. As a consequence of it, the pasture demand has gone up, which means that amount of grass that cows want to consume in our paddocks is at a level that it is still above what we have as growth rates this time of the year. So the break-even point is normally another maybe 2 weeks away. So we will have a little bit of a feed gap. Now we have maximum cows in each paddock, but we do have a bit of a cover. And this paddock, you can see that there's a fair bit of grass going in. We have planned to have a little bit of buffer in the cover, and we will eat into that a little bit. Ultimately, it is the weather conditions that will drive how much grass is growing, and if it is a bit cold, which it can be this time of the year, then we might have a bit of a feed gap, but we do have silage at hand to fill that, so we are prepared for that.
We do regular botanical composition assessments on the farmlets, and what we noticed with the most recent one coming out of winter of the third and final year of the experiment is that we're getting big differences now in the clover composition between the farmlets. Farmlet 1 with 300 kilograms of nitrogen has about 15% clover out of winter. Farmlet 2 and 3 with 150 kilograms have about 20%, and farmlet 4 with 0 nitrogen is now at around 30% clover content. We expect that to increase in all farmlets over the year. It suggests that the nitrogen treatments we've imposed are actually starting to have a big impact on the competition between grass and clover and the proportion of each species in the pasture. Something we have planned for the next month or so is a campaign of measurements looking at the spatial distribution of species in the pasture. So we'll be in here with quadrats, looking at the presence and absence and the till accounts and things like that in order to get an understanding of the spatial distribution of both clover, ryegrass and the other species. One of the reasons we're interested in looking at the spatial distribution of the species is that farmlet 3 and farmlet 4, which tend to have larger patches of clover, we've also noticed they may be more susceptible to pugging damage. And so that's a visual observation. We really want to get some numbers on that. So we'll be in here measuring the distribution of clover over the next month.
Tasmania has a lot of rainfall over winter and into spring, and only second half of spring is normally when the risk of dry periods is much higher. The extra rainfall that we get over winter does help in filling dams for irrigation, but of course every upside has a downside, and that's what you see here. Our red ferrous soil on itself is draining fairly well. When we have a lot of rainfall or continuous rain that keeps the top wet, it becomes muddy. We get a bit of pugging damage and it smears our grass, as you can see, and as a consequence the utilization goes down. The cows can't eat it all because it's too dirty, the grass. We try and manage everything as good as possible, but this is how a paddock can look like just because of the wetness, and pugging can be more severe than you see here.
So if you want to know more about the farmlet trials and get regular updates, then you can subscribe to the monthly report.